There is a number I want you to look at, 55. That is the number of billionaires currently sitting in Singapore. Now look at another number, 258 billion US dollars. That is the combined asset value they hold. It is a jump of 66% in just 1 year. Now, if you are reading the headlines in the Straits Times, you probably nodded your head and thought, good for Singapore. We are a financial hub. We are growing. But if you are a dividend investor, someone who relies on your monthly payouts from DBS or OCBC or Capitaland to buy groceries or pay your bills, I need you to stop nodding and start paying attention. Because those 55 people, they are not just your neighbors. They are your competition. And they are the reason why the 4% yield you were hoping for might suddenly become 3% without the company doing anything wrong. Today, we are going to talk about the wealth paradox. We are going to look at why smart money flooding into Singapore is actually bad news for your yield and exactly what you need to do to fix it. I am Iggy, the investing iguana. If you are new here, my job is to cut through the noise of the Singapore market. We recently hit 1.3 million reads and 65,000 likes on our platform. I have produced over 1,200 videos analyzing market trends. And last year, we landed 8th in the Tiger Brokers Influential Tigers ranking. But forget the stats. My real job is to be the analyst you do not have. I dig into the institutional data so you do not have to guess. Today, I want to try something different. I am not going to summarize the news. I am going to teach you the mechanics of what is happening to your money right now. Let's start with the problem. The article says that Singapore is now the third largest billionaire hub in Asia Pacific, right behind China and India. 6 new billionaires moved here in 2025 alone. Now, why does this matter to you? It comes down to a concept called yield compression. I want to pause here. Yield compression is a term analysts throw around, but let's actually define it so you understand the math. Imagine you want to buy a share of a REIT. Let's call it Iggy's REIT. The share price is $100. And every year, I pay you $5 in dividends. What is your yield? It is 5 divided by 100. That is 5%. Simple. Now, imagine a billionaire family office comes into the market. They have $500 million to park. They look at Iggy's REIT and say, that looks safe. They start buying. Because they are buying so much, the demand drives the price of the share up. It goes from $100 to $120. Now, here is the kicker. Iggy's REIT is still only paying $5 in dividends. We did not make more profit. The stock just got more expensive. So let's do the math again. $5 divided by $120. Your yield is now roughly 4.1%. You lost nearly 1 full percent of income, not because the company failed, but because the price became too successful. That is yield compression. And right now, across the Singapore blue chips, we are seeing yields drop by 70 to 80 basis points. By the way, a basis point is just fancy talk for 0.01%. So 80 basis points means 0.8%. It sounds small, but if you have a $1 million portfolio, that is $8,000 of annual income gone. Poof, vanished. You might be asking, Iggy, if these billionaires are so smart, why are they buying stocks that pay less? This brings us to the second concept, the difference between growth and safety. When you or I invest $10,000, we usually want growth. We want the stock to double. We want a moonshot. But when you have $500 million, you do not care about doubling your money. You care about not losing it. You care about capital preservation. To preserve capital, you need liquidity. Liquidity essentially means how quickly can I sell this asset without crashing the price? If a billionaire puts $10 million into a tiny manufacturing company, they essentially own the whole company. If they try to sell, there is no one big enough to buy it back. They are trapped. But if they put $10 million into DBS or Singtel, that is a drop in the ocean. They can sell it in 2 seconds. That is why they crowd into the blue chips, the big banks, the big REITs, the big telcos. They are paying a premium for the ability to get out. So, is this a trap for you? If you are following the herd and buying the same big names, you are paying the billionaire premium. You are paying a higher price for a lower yield, just for the privilege of owning what they own. Now, I know what you are thinking. Iggy, maybe the banks are just doing really well. Maybe they are worth the high price. I did not just guess at this. I wanted to verify if the prices were actually disconnected from reality. So I pulled up the fair value models on Investing Pro. For those who have not used it, Investing Pro is an institutional tool that runs over 15 different financial models. Things like discounted cash flow, and dividend discount models to find the true intrinsic value of a stock. Intrinsic value is basically what the company is actually worth based on the cash it generates, not just what the market is hyping it up to be. I looked at the big three local banks. The Investing Pro model suggests that right now, these banks are trading at a premium of roughly 12 to 15% above their intrinsic value. Let that sink in. The market price is 15% higher than the math says it should be. Why? Because the smart money is not buying for value. They are buying for safety. They do not care if they overpay a little bit as long as the money is safe. But you cannot afford to overpay by 15%. You need that yield. By the way, if you want to run these numbers on your own portfolio, if you want to see if your REITs are trading above or below their fair value, stop guessing. I have arranged a special deal for you on Investing Pro. The same institutional data I use in this analysis. Use the link in the description with code Investing Iguana for up to 50% off. It is the best way to double check your gut feelings. So the banks are expensive, the yields are compressing. But surely this is just a phase, right? The billionaires will leave. Actually, the data says it is going to get worse. UBS released a report on intergenerational wealth transfer. They project that 6.9 trillion US dollars will change hands globally over the next 15 years. In Asia alone, that is nearly $1.3 trillion passing from the older generation to their heirs. Think about India. Many billionaires there are over 70. They are about to pass $380 billion to their children. Where do you think those children, the new family offices, will park that money? They will look for stable, regulated, tax-friendly hubs. They will look at Singapore. This is what I call the wealth tsunami. If you think the market is crowded now, wait until 2027. Wait until 2030. This demand for safe Singapore assets is going to keep a lid on your yields for the next decade. So, is the game over? Should you just sell everything and buy bonds? No, because you have an edge. Your edge is that you are small. Remember when I talked about liquidity? How billionaires cannot buy small companies because they would get stuck? Well, you do not have that problem. You can buy companies that are too small for them. This is your strategy. Go where the billionaires can't. Play number one is the mid-cap dividend stocks. You want to look for companies with a market cap of maybe $500 million to $1 billion. We call these mid-caps. They are big enough to be stable, but small enough to be ignored by the giant family offices. Look for a free float of about 8 to 15%. Free float just means the percentage of shares available for the public to trade. If the float is small, big funds cannot enter. But you can. These companies often pay 4 to 6% yields. And because the billionaires are not bidding up the price, you can actually get that yield at a fair valuation. Play number two is niche REITs. Forget the massive retail malls on Orchard Road. Everyone owns those. Look at niche segments, cold storage logistics, specialized industrial warehouses, healthcare facilities. These assets are often too complex or too small for a generalist billionaire fund to bother with. That is where you find your 5.5% or your 6% yield. Play number three is the tax advantage. This is the simplest one. Use your SRS or supplementary retirement scheme accounts. If yield is dropping from 5% to 4%, the only way to beat the squeeze is to pay less tax. By buying these assets inside an SRS account or your CPFIS, you are essentially boosting your net return. A 4% yield that is tax efficient is worth a lot more than a high-risk 5% yield that isn't. So here's the verdict. What is working? Singapore is booming as a wealth hub. The economy is safe. The currency is strong. What is not working? The traditional blue chip dividend strategy is getting crowded. The yields are being compressed by foreign capital. If you stick to the biggest names, you are going to see your income stagnate. My advice is simple. If you're holding the big banks and you have a massive capital gain, maybe you are up 30 or 40%, it might be time to take some profit. Rotate that money into the overlooked mid-caps where the yield is still fresh. Don't fight the billionaires. Let them have the expensive stuff. You go find the value they cannot touch. If you want a detailed list of these mid-cap plays, I break them down in my paid Substack newsletter. We go deep into the specific tickers and the entry prices. And don't forget, check the health of those companies first using Investing Pro. Use code INVESTINGIGUANA to get your discount. Thanks for listening. I am Iggy. Keep your portfolio safe and I will see you in the next analysis.